participants and presenters. Assalamu alaikum. Hope that you are all in a state of good health. I am Dr. Aisha from Fisheries and Aquaculture Department, JUAS. First of all, I would like to thank you, the organizing committee, for giving the opportunity to present my topic at 7th International Conference for Applied Zoology 2024. The presentation title is Xylooligosaccharide Supplementation in Rice Protein Concentrate Based Diets, a comprehensive analysis of performance and health of Labiorita fingerlings. In aquafeed, the aquafeed industry accounts for major part 30 to 70% of the total operational cost of the fish farm. The aquaculture industry heavily relies on fish meal as the main protein source. However, the limited supply and high cost of fish meal have compelled aquaculturists to investigate alternate protein sources to fulfill the increasing demand for fish feed. Plant protein sources such as rice protein concentrate have emerged as a promising contender due to their high protein and low lipid content, abundant availability, and cost effectiveness, making them an ideal substitute for fish meal. The plant protein sources are not well utilized in fish due to the presence of complex proteins, anti-nutritional factors, and certain amino acid deficiencies that adversely impact feed palatability, reduce digestibility, retard growth, and reduce fish immunity. Therefore, the dietary manipulations with natural additives such as prebiotics is considered the best approach to mitigate these effects in fish. The prebiotics like Xylooligosaccharide is a promising contender due to their ability to promote growth, fish health, improve the antioxidant capacity in fish. The experimental fish species Labiorhita was used during the study as it is a popular farmed fish species abundantly cultured in countries like Asia, especially in Pakistan. It constitutes 4% of the major species in aquaculture and contributes to approximately 5.1% of the world's freshwater aquaculture production. Owing to its high demand, this species is cultured in intensive systems in Pakistan on formulated feeds, which usually contain a significant proportion of plant protein-based diets due to limited availability of fish meal. Therefore, the aim of this study, as we know, the rice is the major crop of most Asian countries and contain about 11% CP. Furthermore, polish of rice can be processed into RPC containing CP 70%. However, the use of high plant protein diet in the feed of this species inevitably leads to reduced growth performance and intestinal health. Therefore, it is quite urgent to find practical approaches to promote the plant protein utilization by this fish. The xylooligosaccharide have the ability to enhance the growth and intestinal health, presenting a viable solution to address this urgency. Therefore, in the experimental layout, the 8 experimental diets were formulated comprising of 2 RPC 75 and RPC 100 and 4 exhaust levels were used. The exhaust levels were presented in this table, in which two different levels of RPC 75 and 100% and different supplemental levels of exhaust like 0, 0.51 and 2% were supplemented, and also optimum level of phytase were determined for Labiorhita fingerlings, which was also used in the study, which is 874.19 FTU per kg. The diets were prepared in which all the ingredients were batched according to the formulation. The ingredients were ground and passed through 2 mm sieve. After grinding the ingredients were mixed with mineral mixture. After mixing the ingredients, the dough consistency was achieved by adding water passed through a meat mincing to produce pellets, and the pellets were produced after a pellets produce, the pellets were subjected to air drying, and phytase 874.19 FTU per kg was sprayed on pellets. After making dilutions, again the dry the pellets and stored in vacuum bags. In fish husbandry, the fingerlings were acclimatized for 15 days and fed with basal diet, control diet, and 25 fish were randomly stocked in each replicate after acclimatization process. The fish were provided with the respective experimental diets to satiation 6 days a week for 8 weeks, and daily ration was divided into two and fed twice a day. Fish were weighed fortnightly for growth performance. Ration was adjusted according to weight, and feed intake was measured. After during the trial, the physicochemical parameters were monitored constant. In studied parameters, the growth, performance, and biological indices were measured. The proximate analysis and digestive enzymes activity and serum biochemistry analysis were measured. The growth performance in terms of weight gain percent, specific growth rate, feed intake, feed conversion ratio, protein intake, and protein efficiency ratio was determined. While the biological indices in terms of hepatosomatic index and visosomatic index were measured by were measured by from the weight and weight of liver and viscera. The proximate analysis in terms of moisture, crude protein, crude fat, and crude ash was determined by following the standard protocol of AOAC 2006. The digestive enzymes activity was determined in terms of amylase, lipase, and protease, while serum ALT, AST, and ALP activity was measured by using KIT. The intestinal morphology was determined from the samples. The samples were dehydrated in a graded ethanol series, cleared in xylol, embedded in paraffin, cut transversely into sections by rotary microtomes, stained with metaxylene, eosin before being covered slip for morphometric analysis. The plasma lipid profile in terms of triglyceride, low density lipoprotein, total cholesterol, high density lipoprotein were determined using the commercial kits. The plasma immune capacity was determined in terms of SOD, lysozyme activity, and MDA content. The SOD activity was measured by measuring the ability of inhibition of nitroglutatrazole. The lysozyme activity was assessed by the turbidimetric method. The MDA content was measured by colorimetric method. And the data were analyzed statistically using two-way ANOVA. SAS computer software was used for analyzing the data statistically. The growth performance showed significant results in diets comprising of RPC 75 and exos supplemental levels showed and 1% exos supplemental levels. Above this level, further increase in RPC level and exos supplemental levels showed significant decreased results. Moreover, the anatomical indices showed no significant difference among the treatments. The polynomial regression analysis on weight gain percent data showed that at 75% RPC replacement, the optimum exhaust level for Lebureita fingerlings was 1.24%, while at 100% RPC supplementation, the optimum exhaust level for Lebureita is 1.45%. On body proximate analysis, the results indicated that there was no noticeable difference among the test diets when fed with RPC based diets with the addition of exos, both at individual and their interactive effects. The results of serum ALT, AST, and ALP activity revealed that 75% RPC with 1% exos supplementation lead to a notable reduction in ALP activity, while no interaction was observed on ALT and AST activity when different levels of exos and RPC were fed to fingerlings. In plasma lipid profile, the individual effect of RPC and exos showed significant results in terms of triglycerides, total cholesterol, and LDL, while non-significant other interactive effect. Meanwhile, the HDL showed no significant difference both at individual and their interactive effect. The analysis of plasma immune capacity showed no significant results in terms of SOD and MDA content. The amylase activity showed no significant difference among all the treatments. However, the fish-fed RPC diet with the exos showed significantly different results in the activities of lipase and protease, and maximum activity was observed at exos 1% at 75% RPC supplemented diets. In intestinal morphology, the intestinal morphology in terms of villi length, villi width, and muscular thickness showed significantly different results when fish fed with diets comprising of 75% RPC with 1% exos addition. In conclusion, the findings of the study indicated that supplementing RPC 75% with 1% exos efficiently substitute fish meal and serves as a proficient protein source, promoting growth, performance, and maintaining the health and productivity of Lebureita fingerlings, which makes it a promising solution for environmentally friendly, cost-effective, and health-conscious aquaculture practices. Furthermore, The polynomial regression analysis of weight gain percent also showed that 1.25% is the optimum of exhaust level required for maximum growth and intestinal health of Labiorhita fingerlings at 75% RPC supplementary diets instead of 100% RPC supplementation, which showed better growth performance at 1.45% exhaust level. That's all about. Thank you for your attentions.